know that feeling, right? That little voice in the back of your head that says your real life is just around the corner, that it's about to start any day now. Well, today we're going to talk about that feeling, give it a name, the waiting room identity, and figure out how to finally escape it. Does this just hit a little too close to home? It's that perfect someday version of you, isn't it? The one who has it all figured out, and you've been getting ready and planning and preparing to become that person for years, maybe even decades. Because here's the thing, while we're waiting to feel ready, we're not just waiting, we're actively making a choice. We're choosing the idea of our potential over the messy, risky reality of actually living. So what's the real price tag on all this waiting? Okay, so to understand the cost, we first have to understand the place we're stuck in. Let's really dig into this idea of the waiting room, and more importantly, why this trap feels so darn comfortable. It's not a fire alarm, right? It's more like a low hum of static in the background, a nagging feeling that something just isn't right. And when we can't figure out where that feeling is coming from, what do we usually do? We turn it inward. We decide the problem must be us, that we're just broken. And here's the sneakiest part. The waiting room is a master of disguise. It doesn't present itself as a prison. Oh no, it tells you you're being patient. It tells you you're being responsible. It whispers that you just need a little more money or a bit more experience or just the right moment to finally start. And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It is a cage, but it's a very comfortable one. The bars are made out of our own perfectly logical, completely sensible excuses. And if you stay in any cage long enough, well, it starts to feel like home. So if this isn't some deep personal flaw, what is it that's keeping us locked up? Let's switch gears and actually name the enemies. Because this isn't about self-blame anymore, it's about strategy, understanding the invisible forces that are actually at work. First up, we've got a concept from the legendary psychologist Carl Jung. He called it the persona. Just think of it as the social mask we all have to wear to get by in the world. It's useful for sure, but the danger's when you wear the mask for so long, you forget you have a face underneath. You start living from the outside in, and you completely lose touch with who you actually are. And enemy number 2, author Stephen Pressfield gave it the perfect name, resistance, with a capital R. It's not some big, scary monster. It's that quiet, totally reasonable sounding voice in your own head. The one that says, you're not ready yet, or, tomorrow's a better day for this. It's this universal force that shows up to push back anytime you try to do something that truly matters to your growth. Okay, enough diagnosing the problem. We've identified the comfortable cage, we've named the invisible enemies. Now for the most important part, the escape plan. And this isn't just a bunch of theory. This is a practical, 4-step plan to walk out of that waiting room for good. So here's our roadmap to freedom. First, we're going to spot the fake work that's keeping us stuck. Second, we'll dismantle the perfectionism that's paralyzing us. Third, we're going to totally change our mindset about our dream. And finally, we'll rig our environment so that success is the easiest option. So let's dive into step 1. How does that villain, resistance, trick us so well? It gets us hooked on something called a shadow career, which feels really productive, while we're actually just running in place. Let's break this down because it's so important. Over here, the shadow career is all the stuff around the dream. You want to be a writer, so you buy books on writing. You perfectly organize your desk. You research literary agents. It feels great, right? So productive. But over on the other side, the real dream is just writing. Writing the terrible first draft. See the difference? The shadow career is completely risk-free. The real dream requires you to show up and risk being messy, imperfect, and real. So once you can spot your shadow career, you have to face the internal judge that keeps you stuck there. And that means it's time to confront that perfect, flawless version of yourself that's been living in your head rent-free for way too long. We think this idealized image of who we should be is our inspiration. It's not. It's a tyrant. It's your harshest critic just standing over your shoulder, constantly pointing out how you're not there yet. It doesn't motivate, it produces shame, and it makes starting from where you are today feel absolutely impossible. You have to fire that tyrant. All right, this next step is a game changer. It's a fundamental shift in your identity. It's about how you show up for your dream, not just when you feel inspired, but every single day. It's the decision to go pro. So think about it. The amateur is a romantic. They treat their dream like a passionate affair, waiting for the muse to strike. But the professional, they know better. They treat their dream like a job. They show up, they clock in, and they do the work whether they feel like it or not, because they know that action is what summons the muse, not the other way around. And finally, the most practical step of them all. This is where we stop trying to win an exhausting battle against distraction every single day. Instead, we just rig the game from the start. We change the battlefield itself. Look, trying to rely on willpower is like trying to hold your breath. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to give in. It's a battery that just runs out. But environmental design, that's a smart one-time decision. You don't fight the urge to check your phone, you just put your phone in another room before you start working. You make the right choice the easiest choice. So there you have it. You've got the map, you know the traps, you've got the tools, but knowing all this isn't enough, is it? The final piece of the puzzle isn't something you learn. It's a decision, a choice that you have to make today. 5 years from now, you will be 5 years older. That's a non-negotiable fact of life. The clock is ticking whether you feel ready or not. The only variable you can actually control is what you decide to do with that time. And this is really the ultimate takeaway. No one is coming to rescue you. There isn't going to be a magical sign from the universe telling you it's finally time. The door out of the waiting room has been unlocked this entire time. The only thing missing is your decision to actually turn the handle and walk through it. So I'll leave you with this one question to really think about. Be brutally honest with yourself. What is the thing you are doing around your dream instead of actually doing the dream? Naming it, that is the first real concrete step out of the waiting room. So, what is it for you?